some tips, tricks. So first of all, whenever it rolls time, depending on how you are, if it's like that, you're unlucky, and it'll go high into the air, so, like, oh crap, I didn't mean to hit it there, so the best angle for starters to hit it at would not be right in the middle, it would be right to about there. That's where I recommend hitting it right here, and then doing that, and that's it. That's really all it takes. Sometimes you can miss it like that, which is bull. But most of the time I make it, and so I'm sure you guys can make it. So usually a lot of the times some people, whenever they go for kickoffs, right about here, whenever they go for it, it hits the crossbar. Now a solution to that problem is to do that. So yes, you're not going to have enough boost, but you can keep on driving down the line. So let's go back here. So whenever you're right here, then what you want to do is you can go from there. So you go for like your normal kickoff, and if you're lucky if they don't go for it, and then collect your things and do that. Yeah, and a lot of the time it does that for me, but you guys can find a way. I'll just show it to you right now. So to take that problem away is whenever you go for the kickoff, hits it, and then you just try to fly up with as much boost as you can. It's a little complicated, but not as complicated as a ceiling shot, so yeah. Okay, so another one is for the left side. Same thing that we did with the right, just for left. So I've never used the D-Stro before, by the way, so if you guys think I'm just super good with it, it's because I've never used it. I've always wanted to use it, but I've never really had it, so yeah. It seems pretty good for aerials and stuff. It's good for these types especially. So in general, I would say the D-Stro is a pretty good card. Some of you guys call it Diestro, Diestro, so you guys just call it whatever you want. I guess it doesn't really matter. Rocket League never really explained how it's pronounced, I don't think. So yeah, guys, whenever you come from the left side, it could be a little more difficult depending on from where you shoot it at. So if you're going from here, if you're used to the right side, I mean, you don't always have to do left, but I mean, if you just want to go for it and do left, then you can. But sometimes it might be a little hard, so. Gold 3. I should have gotten platinum, but it never gave it to me, so I guess next time, don't do anything in extra modes, because it's only for regular compet, not extra modes, so, which sucks, because I spent a lot of time on them trying to get up to diamond, and I didn't. I only got up to platinum 2, so yeah. So now, since you've got that, I would say one of the hard ones is from like the corners, like all the way around here, because usually like whenever you hit the ball, if they don't go for it, it'll bounce off from like right about right here, and then whenever it flies off, it's gonna go in. So usually whenever that happens, you should come and collect boost over, or flip over, and collect some boosts, and then do this or something and hit it in. If you can, but they would probably save it. So yeah. Next one would be, I would say, I mean, now we're gonna do middles. Middles are a little bit harder, but if you're good with these sides and you've made it, then you have the freedom to try middle. I would say middle is a little bit harder, but then right over here, about right from this white line, right here, it's a little bit difficult, more hard. So either way, left side, depending on which side you're used to, would be even harder. So, but it's very hard to get this spot on touch. Like, see, that was lucky, but in the real game, they would just come in from here and save it. So, middle isn't hard. It's pretty easy. You just need to know how the mechanics work. So usually a lot of people, sometimes they try to pass it and drive it up to the wall. I couldn't make it go up on the wall, so I'm gonna try to. But essentially they would usually probably do that, and whenever they drive it up, one of them is probably gonna come from here or from the corner, or they'll just take the goal for themselves and be greedy. But a way to block that is if you're just sitting on net right about here, whenever he goes for it, depending on how close he is, like if he's at least halfway down the field, then yes, you can go and you can hit it and freestyle it over or into the net or something. Or you can just, if he's closer to it than you are, he's most likely gonna hit it hard. But even if you do jump for it, depending on how fast your reflexes are, you're probably not Cristiano Ronaldo, because I don't even think he plays this game, but if he was to hit it like that, you would probably think you should go up for it, because he's right here, so he clearly could not hit it unless he was like going full speed. But he's right next to the ball, so what would happen is it would just go like this. Depending on how much boost he had, he could have done this or this. If he did that and front flipped into it, your best option would just be to sit like that and just front flip into it, because it's not gonna go high unless the ball is on top of him. But most likely, if he's this close and the ball is on top of his car and he flicks it, it's most likely gonna hit crossbar. But if it doesn't and you're really good at this game, then if you know how to save it whenever he hits it, just go up, fly onto crossbar, or do this, or something like that. But if you're outside the net and he's gonna flick it, your best option would just be to fly. Now, if he's right in front of the net and you're gonna try and flick it, well, he's gonna try and flick it, but you're all the way over here. I would say your best option would be to just fly up to here or something. But it depends on the strength of the flick. Because some flicks, it can, and that's it. But who knows? So right about here, there's a lot of good tips and tricks and stuff. But whenever the ball goes over there, I would say your best option would be to just like try and go for the shot. But like I was saying earlier, right along these lines, you normally would spawn like around here or something. Maybe, I don't know. And then whenever you go for the kickoff and it hits that corner like I was saying, you can just do that and go for it. So, yeah. So, that's one way to score on kickoffs. Now another way is, if they aren't going for the kickoffs, you have your free chance to do your freestyle. So, you realize that they're not going to go for it, so you stop. You go the easiest way, unless you are like beast mode and you want to go savage and stuff. Then you just do that and stuff. I missed it because I'm in training, but they probably would have went up for it like this and tried and stole it from me. So, yeah. But sometimes whenever the ball is like around here on net, and your teammate hits it that way, you can just go for that aerial. Now, a lot of people that know how to do this, hold up, a lot of people that know how to do this, they usually keep on doing that and get addicted to it. But sometimes that can easily fail your shot. Most of the time, whenever you go for aerials like this and stuff, without doing your first flip reset, that's free. So whenever you do this, your shot can get screwed up. So if it's high in the air or something, like if it's right about here, and the ball's like right here and it's going down, and you're about like right here, yes, you can fly up and do that on it. But most of the time, if the ball is like it was over there, if the ball is like, if you hit it and it bounces off of this, and it's like right about here, this is a tough angle to like flick from, not flick, sorry, to flip reset free. So whenever you go like that, they're gonna have a better chance of saving it, because I mean, all they have to do is just this. That's it to save it. But if it rolls up into the air, instead of doing this, because if you do that, it's most likely gonna hit around this area on the wall and bounce off. But if you go up normally like this and you get the right touch on it, then it'll just slide right in, because they ain't gonna think you're gonna do that, because it's not really hard to see through this, but they're probably gonna go like this whenever the ball is gonna be hit from here, and the ball is gonna fly up into here. So yes, if you're wondering if I've ever made them, yes, I have made a lot of goals like that. Have not been streaming for a while, so I'm sorry about that, but yes. So it's kind of hard to demonstrate, but usually most of the time I would say just going for your basic aerials are pretty easier than going for your normal ones, because half of the time whenever you try and go for an aerial, depending on your skill level and rank, you might miss it. I've played with a lot of players that are like that. They try and do a flick backwards and get it back in the center of the net, but they just make it go farther. But then half of the time whenever I pass it, my teammates can't really go for it, so then I have to go for it myself, fake them out, and then fake another one, depending on what game mode you're playing on, and that's it. So a lot of the times you can have tough teammates, but if you're interested into becoming a Pro League player, then you need to be able to carry your teammates, which in normal Pro League you wouldn't, because there's only 3 people on each team for Pro League. So yes, but you need to learn to carry your teammates, but you won't really have to, but still it's amazing. It's good practice to carry them either way. So a lot of the time, one more fact is that a lot of the time, some people, whenever they're on net, they can easily save it. But let's say you spawn right here, like right back here, and your teammate spawns here. He's supposed to go for the kickoff, but if he doesn't, goes for boost. Well, actually no, if he doesn't go for boost, but he doesn't go for kickoff either, and you try and go for the save, he's gonna go in for the save too, and then you're gonna hit him. Either if you're lucky, which this has happened to me, you're gonna hit him to the ball and he basically steals your XP. But he can mess it up a lot of the time, your teammate, so you need to be able to control your teammate and be able to tell him what to do. I recommend, because whenever you have a mic, if your other teammate has a mic too, you guys can negotiate without having to use chat or type in or anything. So one cool move that I've learned a while ago is that you don't need to go forward to like flick, kind of like here. Let me center the ball in front of the goal. Let me try and get that one shot. The struggles. Okay, so right here, normally people will go like that, but you do not need to go like that, because my controller's broken, so this is difficult. But you can just go up to the ball and do this. Grab. See, that flicks it too, but it's pretty easy. So you're just gonna boost up and then it's a little difficult to get the hand of, but eventually you guys will get it. It's not that hard. You just want to be able to backflip. Yeah, like that. See how powerful that is? And it didn't even take much, you just need to backflip. So sometimes if you're not used to it, it could get a little difficult and stuff, but most of the time it shouldn't have to be difficult. What was that? So I'm gonna go for a shot on the white line, which is very difficult if you guys are not really even good at the first one. I do not recommend it, because see, you're spawned all the way, you're going all the way from there, unless you can make a touch like that and no one's on net. try to go for it and you make it. That's the only possible way that you would be able to make that. So I would say probably your best option is to like maybe go for the middle or do that and then go up for it. I don't really know how good y'all are. Type in comments what rank you are and what level. And join my community if you guys are on PlayStation. It is... Lol. I'm gonna have to check into it real quick. My community is called Rocket League Gods Pro. Go ahead and join it. It's English. The picture of it is a striker with all-star training with 100% on it. So yes. So I would say that most of the time, one thing people do is whenever they go for normal kickoffs, it goes either up here or goes in the center or just goes out a little bit. So half of the time whenever you go for kickoffs like this and the ball just goes out to like here, the person that is on whatever, I'm pretty sure this is blue team, the goalie will go for that shot, which they're usually going to be aiming from here, which then the ball goes all the way over to here and into the net. But what you can do is whenever that happens, you should stay, usually most goalies, whenever that kind of kickoff happens, they're like usually around here. So what I recommend you do is whenever you try and go for that shot, you stand out to about like here as goalie, so that whenever it happens, you can just go for it like that. Oh crap, I didn't want that to score. How did that score? What a save! What an angle that was, mate. I'm just kidding. That was a weird goal. So, yeah. It's, a lot of these shots are pretty difficult for some of you guys. Rookies mostly. I mean, of course, rookies. Now, I'm going to say one thing towards the end of this video. Do not support Epic Games because it's very unfortunate. Most of you probably already know, some of you might not. But Epic Games is buying Rocket League. So that is bad news. I have heard from someone, Kahan, that Rocket League, that Psyonix is making another game. It's just Rocket League. They're making it again because they have all the files and stuff. So they're gonna make it, but just with better graphics and stuff. So stay tuned for that. But apparently, Epic Games wants to make Rocket League free. I'm just gonna say one thing: the detail put into the game, all the time put into the game, I do not think it should be free. Now, I am kind of going against the idea, and I'm sorry for those of you who want Rocket League but can't get it because it's $10. But Psyonix took a lot of time to make all the details. Like, I have anodized right now. The details, how it shines, the details on the cars, details on the wheels. Like, on Zowies, all those little specters and stuff, all the black market decals, every single item in this game, they took a lot of time on, and eventually it became a pro league game. Now, Epic Games screws up a lot of games that they buy, which is disappointing. So, because they bought Fortnite, I'm pretty sure, and they screwed it up big time. They screwed a lot of games up. So, a lot of things Epic Games ruin, and I'm not happy with the idea that they would buy it because Rocket League has been one of my favorite games for a long time now, and I would not like for it to be ruined. So, I pray to God that Psyonix is making Rocket League again. I hope so, because that would mean a lot to me. They should make it free for a little bit, only for like a week or something, so people that, old members that had it, could get it for free or something like that. Because, and that we would get our items, because it would be unfair, because a lot of us are rich and have a lot of stuff, and we spend a lot of times on this game. That's why a lot of people have white octanes and stuff spent so much money on this game, and all that. some people have a lot of good items, and it's disappointing the way that the game has like just been bought like that, because a lot of people were going to get it on Steam and stuff and had it on PlayStation, but they were going to get it on Steam too, but they said no because of what has happened. So it's very disappointing of what Epic Games has done, because I've always wanted to be a Rocket League Pro League player, but now I probably can't be, because Epic Games will either screw this game up, or unfortunately it will not become Pro League anymore, because Epic Games could just go on to another game and forget about this one, not update it anymore, and just it's a waste, and then it could not be Pro League anymore. So, but I just have no idea, because the amount of time that was put on this game and the way that they're just making it free, it's disappointing, because they spent a lot of time trying to do all this, but then what happened is they just came and messed it up. The details in the cars, all the creates they've made, all the events they've made, it took a long time to make all this. Now a lot of you may not know, but just to make it like Battlefield 4, that takes around like two to 3 years just to make a game like that. And Rocket League doesn't have as many graphics, so this one took about like 2 years to make this game. So it's disappointing that Epic Games just wants to change the game to make it free, because of all the detail that's been put on it. And so I hope you guys do not support Epic Games. It's okay if you play games by them, but they were stolen. But yeah, I just hope you guys are not supporting Epic Games for this, because it's very disappointing. It's not something that anyone would like to know or have, because it's just not nice that they would do such a thing, because it does take a lot of time to make these games, and I hope you guys know that, because the amount of details and graphics, the time they spend, like I've said a bazillion times, is difficult to make. And a lot of games have a bunch of people, and yet it still takes forever to make the games, and they have like around like 50 people, maybe 100 people working on the game, and it still takes like 3 years. That's how much time it took with all of those people doing. My brother's a Pro League player for Rainbow Six Siege, and yet he's good at Rainbow Six Siege, but a lot of the times there's a lot of sorts of things that happen, and Epic Games, happily for my brother, cannot buy Rainbow Six Siege. Ubisoft will not sell it to them at all, not even for like $1 billion nearly. So if Rocket League would have done that, instead of just let them take it away, take all the time they spent on it, just like that, it's disappointing. Now, I have to commit to this. I will start doing some Rainbow Six Siege streams, and proof that my brother is Pro League is because I have the skins and stuff and all that. But I just think I should start more Rainbow Six Siege, because a lot of you guys are fans of it. Rainbow Six Siege has a lot of people playing it, so I will be starting that in my next stream. Probably might be today or tomorrow or someday. So yeah, I do not know if you guys enjoy Rainbow Six or anything, but I hope you guys enjoyed this stream or video, to some of you. And leave a like, subscribe to my channel, and do not go against Epic Games. Please go against them. And I will see you guys in the next stream. See ya.